Alrighty guys, I'm KC and welcome to my office tour. This is my 2020 office tour. We're going to be taking a look at my office. I'm not going to show you over near the PC just yet because that's what everybody wants to see and we'll see that near the end. Right now we're going to start over here with my gaming collection. I'm going to talk about this because this isn't just some random games that I've accumulated. Some of them of course are random that I've accumulated, but quite a lot of these have a story behind them, and I'm going to tell you some of the stories around my games just because I think it's going to be fun. As you can see, we've got a lot of collector's editions here. I do like collecting all sorts of collector's editions. There's a story behind Rome, there's a story behind the Gears, and there's also a story behind those scuba snacks as well. Let's start with those because these are a recent addition to my setup. This is dog chocolate, but the dogs ain't having it because I want it for my setup because I like Scooby-Doo. Scooby-Doo was my favourite cartoon as a kid. It's my favourite cartoon as an adult. I still go back and watch it from time to time because it is a fun show to watch. And my favourite TV show as an adult is a show called Supernatural. And they recently did a crossover episode and I loved it and I was happy, and that's exactly what I wanted from it. So let's have a look at the games. You can see up here we got my 360 games. They're in alphabetical order for the most part. I say for the most part because we got down here, we've got the Warriors series, words because sometimes it's difficult. This is a series of Dynasty Warriors games, but it's since expanded out to include Dynasty Warriors Gundam, Samurai Warriors, Warriors Legends of Troy, which I've never played, Orochi, and so I keep them under the title Warriors. It just makes it so that they're all together and I know where they are when I want them. Down here we've got my PC games. New recent addition is actually this I bought just recently. Story behind this one actually. Dropped the phone there. Story behind this one. I was watching a guy called Odd Header, and he does like Easter eggs in games and creepy stuff and strange stuff. And in Black and White 2, if you play it past 10 PM at night, the game will start calling out random names, including your name as best it can, and it's really creepy and really freaky. And my daughter comes to me and she says, "Dad, can I have Black and White 2?" She's got her own money that she earned and she wanted to buy Black and White 2. I says, "Okay then," and I thought I'd pick myself up the first one, mine's as well. So she bought 2, I bought 1, and I really do want to set Easter egg number 2, but I need to play number 1 first. I have no idea what this game is about because I've not even looked at what this game is about. But I'm a gamer and I'm happy to play any game, so we'll play that at some point. And we've also got a couple of games down here that I picked up recently that I really want to play. We got the House MD game, which is like just a point and click game, but it's got a house in the title, and the same goes for Whisper, which again, 2 series that I really like. And I've just recently finished watching House season 1 through 8, so it might be fun to play that. So you can see that. Back there you got my Total War series, and I show you this for a reason. I actually just recently picked up the very first Total War, which is Shogun, which is, on the camera that came out looking really rugged, but recently picked that up. So let's talk about the Total War. This will be the first story that it's up. Total War. It's not a game series that I play on my own. It's not a game series that I really enjoy on my own. Yeah, it's a fun game series, and I've always wanted to get into it more than I've gotten into it, but I've never really found the time. But I play it because one of my best friends plays it and he loves playing it together. So we usually play it together, we usually play multiplayer, especially since Rome 2. That came with a multiplayer campaign. I think it was the first one in the series, but I can't quite remember. It might have been Shogun 2, but I can't remember if Shogun 2 came out before Rome 2. So, but anyway, Total War, it's a game series that I play with him. And this right here, you may think, why would I buy this? This cost me £110. Or by my wife, she bought it me for my birthday. This came out around my birthday a few years ago, and my friend was telling me about this. He was telling me it came with an onager. We've got one piece of it there. I actually have lost the rest of the onager. I might have put it away in there because it was getting badly damaged. I could have done that, I'm not sure. There's also a canvas map which is rolled up inside there because again that was starting to get rugged. I did have it on the wall, but it just wasn't sticking with blue tack. It's made of canvas, so I put it away until I could find a better way to sort of hang it up on the wall. But anyway, he says this was, my friend told me this was £30 or $39.99, and I was like, for a collector's edition, I'm going to pay that because I like my collector's edition. What he didn't tell me is somewhere in that conversation we'd gotten looped around and he was talking about the version that he was getting was the £30 version, not the collector's edition. So I thought this was £30. I bought this and it cost me a lot more. So there's that. These actually were given to me by my daughter recently. She went to McDonald's. These was the toy, not the Luigi, just the Mario. I'm actually not sure where I got the Luigi from. He just kind of appeared. And again, these were Christmas presents. this came out of one of the very first collector's editions that I ever purchased. I think it was the second collector's edition that I purchased, which was the Alone in the Dark one. I purchased this used for £2.50. I was a fan of the old Alone in the Dark. If you go down here, you can probably see Alone in the Dark, A New Nightmare and Jack is Back. I also have Alone in the Dark 2 up here on the PS2. So, real fan of that, so I thought, hey, you know what, I'm going to get that. It's £2.50, it's not that much. It came with that, came with the statue, came with the game, which I've since lost. I don't know what happened to the game. It came with a soundtrack and a couple of art books, which is really cool. I love having that. So, definitely worth the £2.50 I paid for it. It's about £10 now if you want to pick it up, so it's actually aged pretty well. So you can see here there's a lot of other games, and let's talk about this guy, Gears of War. So my current favourite game of the current gen is Gears of War. When I say the current gen, I'm talking about 360 onwards, because PS2 backwards was more like the kid era for me. I was a teenager when this came out. I was a kid when the previous stuff came out, the Nintendo games, all of which I've got down here. You can see my Nintendo collection down here. And that, so they were kind of like kids, and then as I grew up, this sort of revolutionized games. I went from playing these all the way to 2009. It was like 2009 when I finally got an Xbox, and to jump from what the PS2 was capable of to what these were capable of, it was a huge jump for me, and one I have always looked back on and always thought, you know what, these games are great, they're immersive, they're bigger, they're fun. These ones, too full of microtransactions, but these ones still have really good replayability and they're really fun to play anyway. So I kind of like all styles of games, so apart from microtransactions, which is why the Xbox One pile is small. It's Craig size, not Kyle size. But that being said, Gears of War had an amazing in-depth story that pushed this back, and I fell in love with this game. I actually bought Gears of War 2. Not that one, I did, but it's the exact same one, but it's in worse condition. But I recently replaced it with a newer one. I still have the old one, but it's now in the living room Xbox, just for those who want to play Gears of War 2 in there. But anyway, played that, loved it, achievement hunted on it. Then this was coming out, so I pre-ordered the Epic Edition. I bought this. When Gears of War 4 came out, I pre-ordered it. I bought this. And we also have a frag grenade here. We have JD's cog tags, we have Adam's Phoenix's medal in the background there. We also have the award here. There are still some Armor of Dawn designs in there. There are still some other art books in there and stuff that's inside of that case. But I've not got them on display because I don't really have a place to display art books. I did at one point have all the art books out and have them on display, but I put them back just to clean up my office some, and the art books, they get damaged. But the interesting thing is if you buy the Epic Edition, you get this game, whereas if you buy the Standard Edition, you get that. So, kind of interesting to note, little thing like that. Now, let's talk about Halo. I don't know if I just talked about this or not, but anyway, I've never played a Halo game other than ODST, which I am told is a very bad Halo game to play. But these, my wife saw this, she knows I like my collector's editions. This was 40 quid from the local game a few years ago. She thought, I'll buy him that, he'll at least enjoy it, and I got that. I got the Halo 5 collector's edition back there, and I also got the Master Chief collection, which is up here somewhere. You can see it right there, Halo Master Chief, and I do plan to play this. This is a game series that I do want to get into, and when I get into it, I'm probably going to learn to love these statues even more. Now these do magneticize together. If we go here, you can see that they actually do clip together there magnetically. But I just parted them, I like them parted. That's my phone case getting in the way. I like them parted, I think it looks really kind of cool. And this gun back here absolutely has zero gaming relation. I didn't buy this as a prop or anything like that. I actually picked this up from a pound shop because it reminded me of the Magnum within Resident Evil 5. And I played Resident Evil 5, loved that game, played it a lot, loved that game a lot. I actually have it up here as well. It's one of my favourite Resident Evil games. Even though it's not really a good Resident Evil game, but it is a good game if you don't class it as a Resident Evil game. I played that game a lot, and going through it, I always used the Magnum, got infinite ammo with it, used it on professional, killed Wesker a bunch of times with it, and I just had to have a replica, and that reminded me of it. I don't think it's an actual official replica, but it reminds me of it, so it works. Then we've got a bunch of games here, a bunch of my Switch games. This game is something actually kind of unique. Yeah. So what I like to do randomly is I'll go on Wikipedia, I will type in the year and I'll type in video games. I'll bring up a list of video games that's coming out this year. I'll look at games that's coming out recently and I'll go, okay, you know what, that game sounds good, I'm going to buy it, and I go purely on the title. I do not go on anything else. And I saw World End Syndrome, and I love dystopian worlds. I love futuristic worlds like The Walking Dead, where humanity has come to an end and we're surviving, especially games set in that. I loved State of Decay. So I thought, oh, World End Syndrome, that sounds good. I got the game. And it is nothing like that. It is, I've not even played it, but it looks like some kind of adult themed game, and I just haven't brought myself to play it. Okay, so, yeah, there's that. So, there's all my games. You can see that we got Crash Bandicoot, we got Crash Bandicoot down there. We got Neo Cortex in the background there. And of course, we got Marcus Phoenix up here, because you know, why not? And again up here, just a couple of cups. We got the Call of Duty World at War Collector's Edition. That actually comes with that. I bought this from a pawn shop. Got that. I really like that. It's really kind of cool, so I got it. Over here, I just needed something to fill this space on the wall, so GTA London map. And of course, my daughter bought me that for Father's Day. I'm very big dad. I love my daughter to bits, and I love displaying the stuff that she buys me. I have them all over the house, and I even have that one in here because it's just, that's cool. That is cool. So let's move on over to here. Over here we got this came with a book that's down here. This came with this book. And it came with a couple of codes for Call of Duty Black Ops 3. But I've never played Black Ops 3 much. Well, I say never played it. I played it a bit, but not much. So I never really got around to using the codes, but I'll use them at some point, I'm sure. Then we got the coin collection. This came with the Black Ops 2 Collector's Edition. Another painting my daughter did for me when she was younger. And of course, JD's bike. Yeah, looks a bit like a Halo character at first. Now you can see my office has seen better days. I had a leak around the outside, so just ignore the damage up there. I'm redoing my office over the next year, which is why I'm doing this tour, so I can see how much it's changed over the years. Then we've got this over here. Prescription bag, ignore that. I have hypermobility in my shoulders. I use ibuprofen gel to deal with that. So just ignore that. Over here we got just a little bunch of random stuff. We got dongles with all sorts in there, just little stuff. Drawers, again, we've got just cleaning stuff, hard drives, RAM chip. I might make use of that at some point. Hard drive, charger cables. Nothing important, gaming cables over here. Some old antibiotics there. Down here, we got my PS1 collection. As you can see, one of my dog's hairs. PS1 games, N64 games. Going further down here, we got SNES games, bunch of games. And down here, some home videos and more PS1 games. Again, nothing too fancy. And just over here, back here, we've got a Warning Biohazard. My mum bought me that. I had upset stomach once, and I was just, people didn't like being around me for obvious reasons. But yeah, and then obviously eyeglass wipes because I wear glasses. Bunch of random stuff. This is not important. And part of my new build for my PC. This is part of the new build. I'm in the process of building a new PC. This is the only part I've bought yet. Got this on sale. Brand new, but it was damaged. The package was damaged, but it was like 90 quid cheaper. Package damaged, so there's that. And obviously back here, there it is. Joypad bin. Yes, there's a washer. I do share my office with the washer, but it's off most of the time, which drives my wife crazy because she's like, hey, you know what, we need to get the washing done, you know, you're recording. I'm like, yeah, Minecraft is important. So, let's get over to here. Go on windowsill, the Office of Misery Guts, because why not? Now let's get to my actual setup. This is where I record, and pretty much everything that I use to record with. Now you may notice that it's slightly mismatched. That's fine. I do plan to replace these monitors soon. I sort of accumulated these over the years. The oldest part of the setup is probably the Blue Yeti mic. I've had this mic when I decided to start doing YouTube, 2014. I had a bit of money set aside, enough money for one really good item. I could either go with a good mic, a good capture card, a good whatever, and I decided to go with a good mic because I figured that was important. So I got the good mic and I've added to the setup ever since. This pop filter is dead. It still works, it's still good, but the sort of like support arm is broken, and I'm like, you know what, I need to get a new one, but I never do. Probably something that I need to do. Same with the boom arm. The boom arm's old, it's ragged, it's the cheap side of things. It's like a £10. I keep saying that, you know, I'm going to replace this with another one, but I can't find one that I like that's cheap. The one that I like is about 70 quid, and it's like, do I really want to put 70 quid into a boom arm when, you know, I want a 4K monitor, I need a new PC, you know? No, I really don't. So I opt not to. Probably will get to replacing that at some point. You can see my switches there, which is where it always sat. Funny story, I actually lost a switch at one point, and I don't know how I lost it because it always sits there in its sort of case in the dock. But you know, I put a video on my channel about losing the switch and the story of what I think actually happened to it at some point. I think a thief stole it. I know someone stole my daughter's switch. I can prove it. So maybe we'll make a video about that one day. Of course, whenever you're recording, you need a way to stay energized. So I drink myself some Pepsi Max Raspberry and I eat myself an Aero bar. These are not intentionally turned around, they're just unintentionally facing away. Again, more eyeglass wipes. Post-it notes, I often write stuff on post-it notes and I stick them on the wall back there. I've recently cleaned up my office, so a lot of those post-it notes have gone, but the wall used to be covered in them. Star sign. Now, my mum gave me this and she was really excited about me to have it. She's had it since she was a kid. You can tell it's actually got ABBA written up there somewhere. And Martin Shaw, I don't know who that is. But she really wanted me to have this, so I decided I would put it up in my office to show some support, show my mum I love her. So I put it up in here. Obviously we've got the Logitech webcam, which I don't actually use very often. It's just sort of sits there. And we've got my YouTube here. Yes, I do have ad blocker, but I do whitelist my people that I watch on YouTube. So it's annoying because ads on YouTube were suddenly every 5 minutes now. It's annoying. But yeah, you can sort of see it there, and this is actually on the wrong thing. It's supposed to be on that. That's my Let's Play channel. That's my Minecraft channel. That's my achievement hunting channel. All three of them are loaded up. This is not an Apple monitor. It's actually an HP. It's actually an HP monitor. It's an NV24. It's the biggest monitor of the setup, but it's not the one that I use to game on. I actually use the center one to game on. I prefer looking straight ahead at my screen. I don't like looking off to the sides when I'm gaming, but I do like to have my chat up here when I do stream. I put my chat up this side, so it's right next to it, which I'm going to actually start putting on here because I like to look at the camera when I'm chatting, and then away from the camera when I'm gaming. Keyboard, funny story about this keyboard. This keyboard is a Strike 3 and I absolutely love this keyboard. I've had it for way too long. I'm usually one of them people that replaces their keyboard frequently, but I had this keyboard that I really loved a few years ago. It was an old like HP one that came with an HP computer that my uncle bought. He bought a high-end Windows XP computer, which is now very low end. But I loved the keyboard, and I write and I like my keyboard to be nice to write with. I've got really big hands. I've got massive hands. And I often hit multiple keys at times, and that's annoying. So I like a really big keyboard that's really got heavy keys, and this one has that. But the keyboard my uncle had, I really loved. I got this computer when he passed away, and I used that keyboard until literally it wouldn't work anymore. And out of all the things to stop working on this keyboard, it's the I button and the 2 button, which obviously has the speech marks. And if you're a writer, you need both the I button and the speech marks, especially if you're writing a first-person story. The I button is very important. So are the speech marks. So I couldn't use that keyboard anymore. So I went through a period where I spent hundreds and hundreds of pounds finding keyboards. I went through every cheap keyboard that I could possibly find. I tried to track down another one of that keyboard. My uncle had it, but they didn't make them anymore. And the ones that were on eBay, I didn't trust. They looked in really bad condition. Like I said, the keyboard that I had was like 10 years old at that time. It's probably about 15 years old now. You know, it was worn out. So I ended up going through a lot of keyboards between the cheap range and the mid range, so somewhere between like 10 and 50 quid. Couldn't find any that I liked, and I said to my wife, I said, look, I need to buy a keyboard that I like. It's driving me crazy. I'm just going to go and buy an expensive one. And I went through 3 different expensive ones before I got to this one, and I really liked this one, and I've kept it ever since. It does actually change colour, which is something I didn't know it did. But my daughter found that out when she was like 3 or 4, something like that. This keyboard was about 5 years old. And again, same with the mouse, big heavy mouse, love the heavy mouse. It's got buttons on the side, and obviously behind it you can see a world map that's got nooks in it here and here. You know, oh, actually that's a bit of salt. But yeah, it's the entire world map, so unfortunately, you know, I'm wearing out Australia with my mouse. Sorry, Australians. I mean, at the end of the day, all you are criminals, you know. I mean, I'm British, so bit of humour there. Don't take it seriously. And unfortunately, my desk's gonna get infected soon, so I'm screwed. Again, another joke. Don't take it seriously, guys. It's a little bit of a laugh. I don't mean it. So. This is a new addition to my setup. I actually bought this for 15 quid from CEX recently. I did have a smaller monitor here, but it was driving me crazy that it wasn't at least somewhat the same size. So I just bought this. You know, I was planning to replace all the monitors in my setup. I plan to have 2 of these Asus monitors, and then a 4K monitor in the middle with an Asus either side. So I only need 1 more of those, and then obviously the 4K monitor. But I thought, you know what, for 15 quid, I can't grumble at this monitor. It's bigger, it's perfect. It's not got HDMI, it's got only a VGA, but that's fine. Have a VGA port, it works. So there's that. And then we've got my headset, which is just a plain standard game headset. To be honest, I've thought about getting a more expensive headset. I've really thought about it, but I don't need one that's comfortable. It is, my wife got me for Christmas. It's comfortable and it works. It doesn't fit the red and black theme I want in here, so maybe I'll upgrade when I in the process of doing my new computer. Maybe I'll do that, but for now it works. I'm happy with it, and it's got a built-in mic that I've never ever used, because why would I use that mic when I've got that mic? Makes no sense. Then you've got my computer, which is down here. Again, we've got an external hard drive on top. That's where I record all my stuff to it. I'm currently watching a TV show called A Haunting, and that's what's back there. You can see the videos of ghosts. And that's my computer. It's an HP Pavilion, however, most everything inside of it has been changed. I have a GTX 750 Ti, an i7 processor, 16 gigs of RAM, and a 1TB hard drive. Like I said, it's nothing amazing. It does Minecraft somewhere between 40 and 60 frames a second, depending on what I've got running in the background. If I'm not recording, I do tend to get 60 frames a second across most games that I play. In fact, pretty much every game I've played, I've managed to get 60 frames a second when I'm not recording. But when I'm recording, it kind of drops that frame rate, so, you know, but that's okay. I have a capture card over here. This is an Elgato HD30, and I know a lot of people are like, well, you want a new one. You've seen the new one. I got the 4K one down there. Obviously, that doesn't fit into this computer. It doesn't have a port on the motherboard, so I'm getting a new computer for that, building one. But that HD30 is, in my opinion, one of the best capture cards on the market, because I've had that card. Yes, I have things in my fingers. I have little things growing in the joints of my fingers. But anyway, the HD30, I have submerged this in pop, I've submerged this in water, I've dropped this on the floor. This used to be, you can see there's a carpet down there, there's a rogue quaver there. That kind of got away from me, didn't it? But anyway, you can see the carpet down there. This is a pure cement floor underneath here. It's an old outhouse building that's been converted. That has dropped off my desk more times than I can count before I had the carpet into here, straight onto the concrete, and hasn't died yet. That thing does not die. I know a lot of people say that they die pretty easily, but that thing has lasted me, again, I got that back in like 2014, so it's lasted a good 6 years, and it's really seen it. It's way around the ringer. We've got a splitter back there that splits all different HDMI ports. We got my sort of controller collection. At the minute, I'm doing Let's Plays at the minute. We're doing the Assassin's Creed, so I've got my Xbox 360 here. I've just filmed Doritos Crash Course. I'm doing Monkey Hero, so we've got the PS1. And we're doing The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time, so I've got my GameCube here as well. And, you know, I say all the time on my Let's Plays that I do play on the console. I do play on the console. I've got all my consoles sort of linked up here. Pretty much everything on here I can capture from. with the exception of the stuff up here. Except the PSP, I can capture from that. I do have the cable for it, so let's just. I forgot. I've got a sign up here. Forgot about that. Again, another gift from my mother. This is the Switch that actually got stolen. I'm going to do a video about that at some point. I did get it back in the end, so it is slightly damaged. You probably see it's beveled here and whatnot, beveled here and whatnot. But you know, I'll do that in another video maybe. But let's go over. Let's go over my consoles. But before we do, let's just quickly check this wall out, because I forgot about this wall. Little poster that my daughter did for me. When I used to stream, I used to go by the name the Devil696. And I used to have short hair, and this is how I used to look. A fan named Cookie made this for me, and I've had it on my wall ever since. I really love this thing. It's really, really cool. And again, another thing that my daughter made. You can probably guess that Sans and Papyrus. She's massively into Undertale. Massively into Undertale. And my battery is at 5% on my phone. So let's finish this thing up. Random number there. There's coordinates for something. I can't remember what. It's something I wrote down from a game. But anyway, quickly, we got to finish this video off because I'm at 5% battery. So, SNES, N64, both of these are mine, both of these I've had since I was a kid. Same with the Xbox, well, that's not an Xbox. PS1, GameCube, the Let's Play that we're doing there. Then we go down here, we've got the PS2, which again, my nan bought me this, so it's really, really important to me. You may think, oh, he's leaving games out. But I've recently just got this Xbox One X. This came today. It's literally downloading the update. I plan to install Gears of War 5, so I've just popped that there so I know where the game is. This is brand new. My wife just bought this for me today. It's super awesome. My old Xbox One died on stream. In fact, it died a death. 360 again. We got the Gears of War Omen on there, and we got the Xbox, the original Xbox. So that's pretty much it. I'd like to go over these consoles and more, but the video's already running over. And I'm running out of battery, so it's a good place to end, and there's my Mario. So that is KC's Setup 2020. Oh, and of course, nice little chair. Spin it right round. But yeah, so that's going to do it for this episode, guys. If you've enjoyed the video, please do consider leaving a like. It really helps out the channel. I really do appreciate it, so please do leave that like and click subscribe on all 3 channels. This video is going to go up on all 3 channels, so feel free to click subscribe. Thank you so much, guys, for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye!